Hi, Penny.
Hi, JC.
Oh my gosh, first video podcast. Super shout out to Jamie, who's been helping us with this whole project. We really, really appreciate it. Shout out to our girlie.
Shout out, Jamie.
Penny, how are you?
I feel tingly.
Why? Well, you had a lot of soda.
Yeah.
Are you now tell me about your carbonated journey. Are you a soda queen? Are you not a soda queen?
Like, no.
So this on record, he's like, no, not into soda. So do you when you
No,
sit?
no,
okay,
no. I don't drink carbonated drinks. I just like soda water with like my drink.
I have a question. So when you're getting like, let's say a tequila soda or a vodka soda or whatever you decide to get, do you get it with water or do you get it with soda with lime?
Soda with a slice of orange.
With a slice of orange.
Because trying to combat that scurvy.
What's a scurvy?
Scurvy is, I'm so happy you asked. I'm kind of obsessed with scurvy. Like when the pilgrims came over from London and like half of them died, it's because they had lack of vitamin C, that's citrus.
Guys,
so scurvy.
Guys, take your vitamin C, and this you've heard this first on the Wholesome podcast.
Because I always think like, they couldn't just like pack bushels of oranges. I don't know.
Does that have vitamin C or vitamin D?
C.
What has vitamin D then?
The sun.
Oh, then why does Sunkist have the sun and oranges? Maybe you get vitamin C and D in it.
Sunkist is not orange juice. It is literally concentrate.
Oh. Well, anyway, guys, welcome to the Wholesome Podcast. I'm your host, JC Queen, and this is my co-host,
Penny.
Now Lampoon.
Yeah. I'm trying to rebrand just like one day.
Oh, okay, cool. So this is actually just Penny starting today.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, this is kind of awesome. So if you were new here, welcome to us for the first time. We are a podcast with two of your gay friends that talk about everything under the rainbow.
Who's
Anything
gay?
and everything.
Who's gay?
You actually came up with that on our summary on Apple Podcasts. You put anything and everything under the rainbow. And since then, I feel like that's been like the perfect line to explain our whole podcast.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty succinct.
Yeah. You're using big words today. And I wish you would have told me so I would have brought my dictionary. Okay.
I like thesaurus the fuck out of everything.
Really?
No, not really.
God, I loved back in the day when you'd get on Office Word. Remember Word back in the day?
They still have Word, boo.
Oh yeah, whatever. I use Notes.
Oh yeah.
on iPhone.
I use both.
But when they had Word, I would just like, when I was in English AP, I'm not trying to brag, but when I was in AP, I would just highlight the word and then you can like use thesaurus.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, all your whole sentence makes no sense. But
I would always think like thesaurus, dinosaurs.
What?
I would always think in my head, like I would see thesaurus, I would think thesaurus, dinosaurs.
The whole morning, he's been saying weird shit, everybody. But have I been living for it? Absolutely. So, Penny, tell me, so it's the new year. We're in 2024. How's the start to your new year? Did you have a New Year's kiss? How did it go so far?
New Year's Eve was a blast. I went ham like I usually do, and I have been recovering the past 6 days now. It's been a 6-day recovery because I am 36. And
How's your back?
I pulled my back on Monday.
Yeah. So you're really going into the new year feeling like an old woman.
Yeah, I was dancing. I was doing the most. My friend Savannah had an after party, and there's like she has this like twisty stairwell, and I was like holding on to it and like doing back bends and whatnot.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What about
I pulled my back, and I was just doing shit that I shouldn't be doing at 36, and it's been hurting, and I haven't worked out in like a month.
I'm sorry.
So it's okay.
That's really hard.
Don't feel sorry for me. But
Okay.
I had a great fun New Year's, and now I'm just recovering. What about you? How was your New Year? Tell me
Wait,
everything.
you missed the New Year's kiss. What's happening with that?
I can't remember if I had one. I don't think I had one.
How do you not remember if you had one?
A New Year's kiss, it's so archaic. Like, I'm not going to be put in a box. Or
I wish
to
we
be-
had a flashback to that night and you were searching the whole bar.
I was
for
not.
a New Year's
First
kiss.
of all, I was not at a bar. I was not at a bar.
Were you at a party?
I was at a house party. Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I'm like, who has a pole that you can dance
But there was
on?
no one there that I wanted to kiss. So like, whatever.
So if you were at that party,
I just like cheers the universe, and I took a sip of my drink, and that was my kiss.
my kiss was my boyfriend. I went to the way that Penny has wanted to kill me this whole morning. Like if you could see how many eyes he's made at me the whole morning, he was just like he wanted to genuinely kill me.
So we get it. You kissed your boyfriend.
Yeah. Well, we can repeat that again. So yeah, my brother was in town, the gay one, not the straight one. He came into town, and as his gift to him, I I bought him a plane flight to LA. And his first time in LA, he just broke up with his boyfriend. They were together for 7 years. And I think he needed a little bit
Why'd
of
they break up?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Y'all never talked about
Don't
that?
act like I know something that I don't.
You and your brother didn't talk about his breakup.
We talked about
That's
it.
so weird.
So he came into town and we did an LA tour bus, which was really
That's
fun.
so weird.
And, and so so we basically, he came into town. It was really wonderful. He just needed to get his mind off of things, and respectfully so, I know kind of why they broke up. I mean, basically they just grew apart is what really happened, truly. I mean, there was nothing huge that happened. It was just like a slow developing thing, which is, I feel like, are the hardest breakups, because I feel like they, like, one abrupt breakup with somebody just surprises you with the breakup is one thing, right? But one that just gradually gets there where you know the outcome's going to be breaking up is so hard, because you have to live with that person every day until you break up.
Yeah.
You've had, I feel like you had that in your last relationship now.
Yeah, my first boyfriend and I, we broke up and I was still living with him. So
Was that, why were you living, what was the circumstances?
I moved in with him like 2 years. I don't know. And I just didn't have a place to go. I mean, I guess I did. I could have like gone back to my parents, but I just moved upstairs to the bedroom upstairs.
Did y'all ever like hook up with anybody separately in the same, while y'all were still like apart?
I don't remember.
That would be the hardest, because I remember there's a guy I dated when I was 16 and
Maybe?
he broke up with somebody, and then he had me around while that guy was still moving out. And I thought, I look back now and I'm like, that was just so fucked up. Like, that is not the okay way of going about it. Because I feel like once you break up with somebody, there's a time period where you need to at least respect them while you're around them. Like, whatever you do in private is on you. But if you're around them, I think it'd be disrespectful to just like be like, around people.
Yeah, it's harder when you go through a breakup and you're living with a person. It's really, really hard. It's also hard with like, I mean, this wasn't my case, but I can imagine like you break up with someone, you've been living with them, and there's only one bedroom. I guess you sleep on the sofa. But
Yeah, but what if you don't have a sofa? Like the kitchen floor, maybe the bathroom. But the other thing so my last relationship, it took about a whole year and a half for us to break up. Like, I wanted to break up on so many occasions. Then he, like, the day I was going to break up with him, I remember he got fired from his job for stealing. So I shouldn't say that.
too late. What was he stealing? What was he stealing?
The thing about Penny is that if I accidentally give him a hint of something, he'll really dig in deep.
I want to know what he's stealing.
He wants to know the root. He's like a gardener. You want to get to the root. Really?
Yeah, in college, I went through a real bad klepto phase.
The thing is that you're so into it.
Like milk, necklaces.
Really? Okay, wait. So you went. So there's a big jump, because you're talking about jewelry and you're talking about necessities. So
like in college,
why did you put them in the same sentence? Is my question. Like, I saw milk, a jewelry.
I go to Walmart or grocery store, whatever. You know, I mean, back when self checkout I think was first starting, so there was no like patrolman. There was like no one patrolling.
Greeters?
What?
Greeters or like?
No, the people patrolling like self checkout. It was kind of just like willy nilly, like whatever. So I would like pretend to like scan things and then like just like put things and I'm not articulated this, but now like the machines, the robots have gotten smarter. So like if you put something, they've gotten smarter. So like if you scan something, if you don't scan something and you put it, they're like, bitch, put that back. They're like, the weight's not, you know? So I would steal all like so much stuff from Walmart. And then like I'd go to the mall and I would like steal like accessories from like H&M and shit. And
how old were you?
Oh, I was fully like 19. 20.
Oh, so you were completely aware of
I was
what's
an
moral,
adult.
what was right and what was wrong.
Yeah, like I go back home to Atlanta, I go shopping, I go to like H&M and like
Well, you go shopping, but you
I'd
wouldn't
go
go
like
shopping.
the fitting room and oh my god, I remember like in high school I worked at Hollister. Blech. And like at the beginning of my shift, I would take a big shopper and I would put it behind a pot, like this huge potted plant that was at the front entrance. And throughout my shift, I would like de-scan items and like walk over there and like drop it in the bag. And when I was done, shift was done, I would clock out. And on my way out, I'd just go boop. Right. And I would grab the big ass shopper and I'd call my friends. I'd be like, meet me at my house. Let's go. And I would just like Robin Hood, like steal from the rich, give to the poor.
You are literally getting the kleptos at they're right now at their desk going.
And then what stopped me? One day I went too far and I went to Target and I think I was trying to steal like headphones or something really expensive, and I like took it out. I took it out of the package and I put the box like on the shelf somewhere, and I put the actual like item in my pocket, and I was like walking toward the front, and the security guard was standing at the front entrance with the box that I had hidden, like going like this, and looked at me, and I went back, I fucking went shit. So I went back to the electronic section, and I took it out of my pot and I put it back. And
this story is so long-winded.
That's it. So then
I went to the bathroom, and then after I went to the bathroom, I was like, oh, I have to go poop, and then I was like, oh, should I go poop?
And so then I never stole again.
So speaking of stealing, Penny, who pays on the first date? You know, whenever you go on a date. I just honestly, for me, I was wondering to myself, because lately, I don't know if it's that I read poor, but like people pay for me, which is a blessing. But I don't know if I walk into a room and people are like, oh, he needs to be paid for. Like, you know what I mean? And I was like, I look expensive enough, but maybe it looks like the clothes were given to me because every time I go out to eat, somebody is paying for it, which it's not like a brag. I'm not like, I get paid for it, but I wonder why that happens to me. And I'm not sure if I read poor, like I just said. But when you go on a first date, or even if you go out with people, do they pay for you?
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes, like, if I rarely go on a date, if the person asks me on a date, they're gonna pay.
How many times do you let them say, don't worry about it, or no? Because you know how sometimes they'll be like, I'll pay, and then you're like, no, I got it. And
Two.
I think that's a good
I think,
amount.
yeah, anything more than that is just like a little excessive.
Well, I also think one is just rude. Like if somebody's like, I got the bill, and you're like,
Okay.
And then it's just like, like honestly, it just reads like I really wanted you to pay.
I'm like, sure.
You move the bill forward.
Yeah.
You're like, perfect, you got this.
Like this, like I see the server come my way, I go.
You're like, yeah, if you don't mind just giving it to him. Now, sometimes it's weird because I still get the bill. Like the server gives me the bill.
I'm like, do I look like daddy?
I mean, which is great, but then all of a sudden they're like, please give me the bill. Like whether it be, you know, a friend, a client, my boyfriend, like everybody's just paying.
I think it just depends. Like if we're on first dates, I mean, I'll be like, I'll reach my, let's split it. Not everyone's gonna know my fucking trick.
No, my favorite is on the movie Baby Mama that Tina Fey wrote when Amy Poehler goes, let me pay for your gas money. And then she's like, don't worry about it. And she's like, oh, okay. And then I do that all the time with my boyfriend. I'm like, let me get this drink.
It's so true though. We've all done it. We all do it.
But
yeah.
in the straight community though, I feel like if you have the long hair, unless you're Fabio, you don't pay the bill. That's just what is commonly
I don't know
done.
anything about that. I don't know anything about that.
Wow, using the word straight is just is bothersome. But in the gay community, it's like, how do we know? Like, is it the twink with the big butt? Is it the shorter one? Like, who knows?
I think if it's like
a
a twink daddy dynamic, I think the daddy he's gonna pay.
Okay, but what if the twink makes so much? I don't even.
I think there's something to be said about at least offering. That's why I'm like, no. I'm like, let's split it. No, I got this. Are you sure? Yeah. It's cool. Okay, thanks.
Because I let 3 times be the route. I think 4 is too many times. Then you're in an argument.
I think 3.
Because then by that time you're going back and forth. This is your first argument ever. You're like, okay, somebody needs to pay the bill at this time.
Did you not see like the little sketch I just did?
I know I saw it.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm just explaining to the audience that 4 times is a little too much. So like keep it from 2 to 3. I think is the sweet spot. So on the same discussion of dating, so there's a difference between dating and going on dates. I think there's a confusion in our society where what I've noticed is that some people will think, well, I dated him, and I'm like, no, we went on dates. So there's a huge difference, and I want to like distinguish the two today here on the Wholesome Podcast video episode 1.
Yeah.
What is your take on like when do you officially call and say I'm dating you or I'm going on dates with you?
I mean, if we've gone on 3 dates, I wouldn't say like maybe I would say we're dating. But what you just said though, I think it depends on context, because going on dates and I'm dating, it can be the same thing. If someone's like, oh, are you single? Like, no, I'm dating around. That's the same thing as like I'm going on dates. But I see what you were saying though.
Because how I see it is like when I'm dating somebody, it means I'm almost not committed fully, but it means that I'm really focused in on them. When I'm going on dates with that person, like, okay, let's say for example, if I reference somebody that I had gone on dates with in the past, maybe it was 2 dates and it just didn't work out, or 1 date, I'm not going to say I dated that person.
Yeah, no, if someone's like, are you single? I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm dating. I would say I've gone on a few dates with this one guy.
Yeah, I see.
I would say that. I've gone on a few dates.
And for me, I think it's a really big difference because I've gone on a date or 2 with somebody. That means I'm probably not that into them and that we just keep on moving on. And then there's another side where it says, I am dating somebody or I did date them. And that's a little bit more serious where I'm like, okay, I really took my time. I'm thinking it's a verb. I'm like really getting involved with this person. Do you agree?
Yeah. To say like I'm dating Brock. I feel like
Who's Brock?
I just threw the name Brock out.
Oh.
I don't know.
I was going to start asking questions. You just
Cat's out of the bag. I'm dating Brock.
Okay, so you're not dating Brock.
I'm not dating Brock.
Okay, cool.
Like if someone's like, yeah, like Brock and I are dating, that's the same thing as like we're together.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
So I always have to explain that because if we ever reference, I had an old boyfriend who'd be like, "You dated that person," and I'm like, "No. I went on dates." And
There's a difference. Yep.
yeah, because I've also like in the same tone. Okay, so how do you feel about being friends? Because I feel like in the gay community we have this thing called the gay handshake, and
What's that?
the gay handshake is when you have sex with somebody and then y'all become friends. It's like a very common thing to do in the community.
Yeah.
But when you're dating somebody new or you're in a relationship with somebody new, this is something that I had in the past with somebody where they'd be like, well, you dated them. And I'm like, no, I went on a couple dates with them. It didn't work out. And I think we could be better friends versus like somebody who I hardcore dated and like was really involved with. And then I'm becoming friends with them. I could understand raised questions, but that's kind of like where there's like this really weird blurred line in our community where for me, I'm okay if you dated and y'all become friends, but some people, it may not be that easy.
Well, I think the gay community, it's because it's so small, right? So, like, let's say it doesn't work out romantically with someone. I mean, chances are you're going to see them, run into them, talk to them. So, like, you might as well leave on good terms. That actually happened recently. Me and this guy I had a crush on for a while. We started like hanging out and hooking up a few times, and then we realized that it just wasn't better off as friends, and we're like, yeah, it's great. And then he needed a recommendation. His brother-in-law needed a personal trainer, so he reached out and was like, do you have any recommendations? I was like, yeah, great.
So then my question is then, let's say your new partner needs everything disclosed and everything's just like everything on the table. Let's talk about life. What if you tell them, okay, I dated this guy and now we're friends, but they can't handle it?
Then it's not going to work out with me and that guy. The guy clearly has insecurity and self-confidence issue.
Wow. So you're just like, jump the boat. We're done.
When anything I've done up until me meeting you, that should not be an
agree.
offense against me.
I agree with
Once
you.
I meet you, that's when our journey starts.
Some people want you to go into a time machine, break up with all your exes,
No.
become a virgin, rebirthed again, and then get into this relationship. And it's just like
this
so
ain't
hard.
this ain't re-virginizing. I'll tell you that right
Yeah,
there.
and you know what? For me, I actually am grateful that whoever partner I've ever been with has experience because I want them to learn so much from their past experiences. I also want them to have like sexual knowledge. I want them to know everything so that when we get into the relationship, they are ready for me. I call it like a little practice. You know what I mean? They've been practicing for a while. They've been rehearsing, let's just say, to get to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, and also whenever somebody else is in the room that they've had sex with, I'm just like, slay bitch.
Oh, that happens all the time.
All the time.
I remember this one time in Houston, me and my buddy Corey, he lives in San Francisco. He invited me to this Sunday gay brunch, and I walked in.
Important to say.
I walked in. I shit you not. I like grabbed Corey. I was like, I think I fucked like 4 people in this room. It happens because the gay community is so small.
Yeah, and you like hugging people.
Yeah, and I think to what you say, like a pass is a pass, but like you know, it's what kind of gets you to where you are now. So like, embrace your past. Don't. You know,
and I also think that when you're dating somebody, there's a reason why you even were interested in to begin with. Like sometimes it may be for the fact that they're somebody who you want to get involved with in the future, but then there's also maybe like, well, maybe there's a friendship here, and you kind of have to bait that a little bit to see like what is working out and what the dynamic is between you two. Because I've met somebody a while back, actually more recently, I've wanted to become friends with him because I'm like, he's such a good guy, he's so fun. And I actually talked to Michael about this. So there's a lot of good communication between him and I. But I was like, you know, him and I went on a couple dates. It didn't work out, but I really love his energy. And I also want to be his friend. So like within a relationship, there's this like, can we become friends with somebody we used to date? And we're introducing it to the relationship. Like, how does that?
well, isn't that the definition of dating?
What do you mean?
Like that's what dating is. Like you're seeing if it's a match. You're testing the waters. Yeah, you should be having sex with someone that you're potentially dating because you want to see if there's like chemistry there. And if there's not, well then you tried, and then
And I think step 2 is like
move
maybe
on.
you can also like be friends. And if that
Yeah.
doesn't work, then well, some people like once you date them and then maybe I hate to say the word reject because I don't like to go that far with rejection. I feel like reject is such a far word. Like it's just like maybe you passed or moved on from them. or
it's
maybe-
rejection. We've all been rejected.
Okay, never mind.
I get rejected every day.
This
I
this just in, he gets rejected every day.
do.
I mean, yes, rejection is a common thing, but I guess rejection is so big that I just feel like it holds so much feeling behind the word. Like, oh, I was just rejected from that person. Like when you hear somebody say that, you're like,
I see what
okay.
you're saying.
Like it's a little deep. I'm like, okay, we get it. Like, okay, you feel something. From
I've been
that.
passed on many times.
Or like, hey, it just didn't work out. They maybe changed their mind about me, and that's totally a big slay. Like my next person's gonna be ready for me more.
Yeah.
But for me, I feel like there's been people who take it very personally, where they're like,
Yeah.
they cannot handle being like passed on.
Like I'm not on any of the apps, but I can't tell you how many times, God, like a friend of mine, this guy blocked me, or this guy won't talk to me. It's, you know what you're getting yourself into when you sign up for those apps. Okay, like those guys don't owe you jack shit. If they block you, if they say hi and that's all they say, move on. Get the fuck over it.
I feel like there's just like a self-love and self-esteem that's weaved into there. Like
Which
if
validation?
if you're able to just move on, because like I honestly, and I'm not saying that like I just have this massive self-esteem, but in a sense, I'm able to move on pretty quickly. I'm not gonna lie. Like if somebody's like not feeling me, baby J's gonna be loved somewhere else.
Well, probably because you've done the work. Could you say that about yourself maybe like 6 years ago?
6 years ago, I wasn't even bold enough to put myself out there. To be
There you
honest
go.
with you. So like
You've done the
I
work.
wasn't even. I felt like I wasn't in the place where I would be confident enough to get rejected. So I avoided any situation that would help me get rejected, which actually goes into why like I would go date somebody and then I would leave them immediately if I was like, because I would have, in a sad, really fucked up sense, I'd have the upper hand. And I needed that for my self-esteem. I was like, okay, if I can't control what you're thinking, then I'm going to just leave you. And
Because you have control of that.
that makes me feel better about myself. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that's cray.
And I think that happens a lot in the straight and gay world. It's like you constantly meet these guys who are not very emotionally available, but it's because they're too scared to probably get rejected and left. So this helps their ego. because
Absolutely.
they have control over the outcome.
Speaking of rejection, I'm all about shooting my shot. I would rather shoot my shot and someone say no than like me not do it. Like
Panay-
what do you have to lose?
Penny comes.
You know I do. I shoot my shot all the time.
Ammunition is loaded, bitch. Like he is just all about. He's like ready to go.
Yeah.
Cupid's arrow. He's like pa pa pa. Like who can I get? And like
You never know.
I don't think it's a competition for you because to you it's like your brain switches to love mode, like ooh sexy mode.
I fall in love. I think I love like 3 people a day. Honestly.
You ever go, okay, this is honestly on the table. You get rejected every day, and you fall in love
Every single day.
every single
It's
day.
a very vicious cycle.
But I love the way Penny like gets men. Like the way you bait men is like a fucking bird in the wild. Like you puff up your chest, you're like a fucking peacock where you put out your feathers and you're just like, hey, what's going on? Like it's Penny. What's happening?
I don't do that. Do I do that?
Like, oh yeah.
Sometimes I do
like
that.
it goes like literally. You'll be with me. You'll be like, oh my god, like you're so great.
I
You
don't
see
do that.
You see a guy and you're like, hey.
I do not.
Hey, like
do
the
that.
whole room goes in slow motion. You're like, hey, what's up? And like your eyes are glistening. All of a sudden, your eyes turn green. I'm like, what is happening? Like,
Green?
no, you're like transition. You're
I
like
have scurvy.
You're like. You're like mutating
Full
into
circle.
you're like mutating into this hottie, and you're just like your shoulders. All of a sudden, you did like 6 reps. I'm like, what is happening?
Well, my shoulders are naturally boulder shoulders. So.
Yeah, no, you've been looking really big. But my favorite is baiting. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like in our community, we've all done this. Where what is it called? Where we change our voice. It's called.
Fuck. It's
It's called. Not.
It's not toxic
It's
masculinity.
no. Well, it is part of
Well,
toxic masculinity.
yeah.
Look at us trying to figure this out.
We don't know what.
It's called.
Come on.
Code switching.
What? Oh, I would
switching.
not. That's not where I was going.
No, literally, I'm gonna Google code switch because that's what it is.
I think it's just called
swear to like Jesus.
code switching. I've never heard that.
Code switching.
That's
gay.
actually, I actually kind of like that term, if that's what it's called.
Changing speech styles can indicate which identity individuals want to put forward as a primary at a given time.
I mean, yeah.
Code switching is often used to describe this change in style when code switching actually means switching languages within a sentence or conversation.
No, yes, but there's
And it's
actual,
LGBT linguistics. So like so gay code switching is when we go from like hey to like hey, you know, like in a matter of second to make sure that we could bait the other person because we were taught
our mating
that
call.
that we were supposed to be more masculine men to attract men.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
fucked.
remember there was one time I picked up
fucked
an Uber driver. This was in, you know, back in Denver days, and he was my Uber driver. We were just going vroom vroom, you know, and he's just speeding on the road, and he's just like, "Hi," trying to get to know me. I'm just like, "Hey, like I'm going." I can't. I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna go like eat salmon and like hang out with my girlfriends." Oh my god, I feel so weird. I need to go back in the closet.
Wait, you said I'm gonna go eat salmon with my girlfriends?
Something like along the lines of like mussels or like sushi. Look how gay my hands are. Well, at the time,
Eat salmon?
something like I was definitely eating seafood that day, so I was like into the seafood. Let me
Oh, you mean like hook it up with girls?
babes, I was literally going to a physical restaurant he was Ubering me to eat sushi and salmon. Let's get on to the story. I was not eating a girl out, and I've never ate box. So let me go back to this. So I was just like talking like this. I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" Like, "Yeah, nice to meet you." He's like, "Can I get your number?" And I did. And then when we first like went on a date, I forgot that I did that, and I was just like, "Hi, hey, thanks for the ride." I give you 5 stars.
Have you ever hooked up with any Uber drivers before?
Once in Denver, and it was so.
Wait, was it
gross.
this guy?
No.
The salmon guy?
No, we talked for a little while, but it wasn't that serious. It was just something where like me and like some gay guys took some guy. Oh god, I don't want to talk about it.
What?
It was just not right. It was not right. I actually like had to repent.
Y'all gangbanged this Uber driver?
No. It was. I didn't even bang anybody. It was like kissing and touching and petting. Ugh, it felt like a zoo. And so I was just like, oh, it just wasn't my thing at all. And honestly, like
In the car? All in the car?
not in the car. That he was like flirting with me, and then he went inside, and they were like, we went inside. And he was like, "Can we come inside too?" I was like, "Sure." And it was just like really awkward. So when they were going into the bedroom is when I pulled my pants on and like ran out the door. I mean, I was a humble 25, so I was still learning. But like I was still. I know. Isn't that? Have you hooked up with an Uber driver? The answer is yes, for sure.
Few.
A few
All in the car, yeah.
in the car.
Yeah.
Is this Uber or Lyft or both?
I'm an Uber boy. I never lived.
Okay. So, like, how do you get to that point in the Uber experience? Is it when they say hi, Benny, when you walk into the car?
I think I get in the car and I'm already like drunk, and so they can kind of tell like, oh, this guy's a homo for sure, and so like because they already know I'm gay, they're giving me signals, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
Meanwhile, they need to be working about their turn signals, and they're trying to signaling you.
Yeah, and if they're cute, then like yeah.
Is there one that was just like so hot?
The first guy was in Houston, and I like sat in the passenger seat, and he dropped me off at my apartment, and we started making out, and I gave him a BJ, and then 2 guys here I've just made out with.
I love this podcast.
Yeah. I mean, Uber drivers are humans too.
Nobody said they weren't. They are human.
They're cute. Yeah. So there's some really fucking hot Uber
Okay,
drivers.
I actually have a question for you. When you're making out or having sex, do you
I'm
like
sweating.
Speaking of code switching too, as well, do you in bed just become like a new, different human being? Like, is it like a little like?
Sometimes.
Okay, same here. Like, I become like a different girl, and I'm not sure if porn has influenced that whatsoever. Because sometimes I feel like watching porn makes me in the back of my mind think I need to perform.
But see,
almost
I don't watch
equally.
porn.
But you have before,
Yeah, clearly.
clearly. But do you ever feel like you're kind of mimicking what you've seen online?
I think when I was younger, yeah. Now I'm like, I do my own shit.
Yeah, me too. I kind of like. I definitely have. Like
I'm
a
my
little
own
remix.
porn.
Period. Honestly, okay. Lately, I've been into, you know, like you know what Patrick.
Adrian would go. Adrian would send that thing. That
Also, Patrick Starr was like. So like lately, I've been like period.
That's
you know what I mean?
so funny.
But honestly, yes, I feel like when I was younger, and sometimes I find myself doing that, like, yeah, baby, something like that.
Oh my god, you want to hear something really creepy? So speaking of Uber drivers, on more than one occasion,
We're literally still on Ubers.
I've got in the car and I've sat down. I've been like, I look at the driver. I'm like, oh fuck, he's like, I think he's cute. He might be cute. He's definitely cute. I'll take my phone out and I'll pull up the Uber app. I'll try to go to his profile. I'll see how cute he is. And his name is John. So I'll go to Instagram. I'll type in John. I'll try to find him. I'll try to stalk the Uber driver. Like,
Now, do you ever like compliment? Because I feel like you're bold enough to do this. Do you ever compliment his picture? Like, hey, nice picture. Like, you look really cute.
I don't think I've ever done that, but maybe I will moving forward.
No. I wasn't trying to give you ideas. Yeah, but okay, but back to being in bed. I was
Yeah.
just. It's like over that already. It's like, I want to go back into my Ubers. But seriously though, I feel like I've actually been with somebody who was like so aggressively porno, like for example, like when he was doing, he was just like, yeah, baby, like, oh, baby, like.
I know who you're talking about.
We're not talking about this, but you know exactly
I
what.
know who you're talking about.
I hate it.
I love him.
I love that we have a friendship.
I love him.
No, he's super cool, but like he's very much into performing. We're not going deeper into this, but you know what I mean. But it's just like we're not going to go down this road.
Then let's stop it.
Okay. So
How was Lacage?
So my brother and I went to this drag performance called Lacage. The Marilyn Monroe part was so
My friend
bomb.
Addison produces it.
Okay, shout out to Addison.
Addison.
Do you use Pure for Men?
I used to.
I kind of want
I
to
need to get
on
back
it.
on Pure.
I kind of want to get back on
It's
it.
amazing.
Actually, I've never been on it.
It's just like bougie Metamucil,
What's Metamucil?
like fiber supplements.
Okay.
That's all it is fiber supplements.
So I could just take fiber,
You could.
but it just sounds really cool when you put Pure on it.
Yeah. I mean, I think Pure has a lot more stuff like fiber. Yeah.
Well, I was definitely reading the ingredients list, not because I really care, but like just because I was curious.
I mean, if you're using Pure, stay on Pure. It's great.
Well, I haven't been on Pure yet. That's what I'm saying. I want to get on it.
Also, it's like gay. It's gay company, gay owned. So shout out to gay.
We love gay. Being gay is cool.
Sometimes.
Imagine we had nothing to talk about.
Like, well, that's it.
Okay, you know what I'm actually watching right now, and I'm totally gagging about it.
Wait, go back to Lacage. So how was it?
It was great.
Did you see
Moving on.
Addison? Oh, moving
No,
on. Okay.
I don't know who Addison is. You never introduced me. I don't know who that is.
And that's an.
You not me being mad.
He asked about y'all. You didn't see him?
You said that you were gonna like let's hash this out. You said you were going to text him so that we can go backstage after.
I did. Did y'all?
He never. You know, I never even knew who he was.
He
And I
asked,
looked
he, asked,
over-
he asked for y'all's names. He was like looking for y'all.
He was nobody was looking for us, babes, and there was like 30 people in the audience. He could have definitely found us.
That is the last time
I'm
I
gonna
pull
put
some strings.
I'm gonna put him on speaker. Imagine.
Oh my god! Imagine. Oh my god! I was like, wait, first of all, I was like, you have his number?
But speaking of drag performances, I'm watching now because I'm trying not to get my gay card revoked, and I feel like in the gay community we only have a few things to watch. So I'm finally watching Drag Race.
We've been called out many times on this podcast for not watching Drag Race.
Yes, thank you for that reminder. But this time I am moving forward, not going to get called out because I'm so excited to be part of the gay community.
Then I have nothing to contribute to this conversation because I don't watch it.
Okay.
I don't mean to say like I don't support it. I think it's really. I mean, I will watch it if it's on. I'm with people. I'll be like, oh, you know.
So I also I'm gonna get cue cards next episode, so I'm not doing my phone anymore. So you know those free aloe bags that people get that are you know those big massive aloe bags that are like huge that people get
The
free?
totes?
Yes, even if you buy like a pair of sale shorts, you'll get it for free.
Yeah.
The gays love to use it as a bag.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Like the millennial gays.
No,
No, not the Gen Z gays.
babes, I've seen the millennial gays too. I've seen some 30-plus-year-olds with bleach blonde hair be walking around the mall with them.
Okay.
That's very direct.
Don't
very
judge.
I know.
That was me one time.
With bleach blonde hair and an aloe
Yeah.
bag. Wait,
No, not aloe. I'm a Lululemon boy.
Wait, didn't you at one point have an aloe bag though?
No, I don't have.
Did
I've
I
never
make that
owned,
up?
I never owned an aloe bag.
Okay.
I'm a Lululemon guy.
But you never been to aloe.
I've never been signed an aloe.
Oh my god, I love aloe. Aloe is such a slay. I feel like it's low key cunt.
I
Because
think
like Lulu was cunt, but she got her cunt card revoked.
aloe is definitely more like fashion forward. Their stuff is super cool.
Yeah, when you go into their store, everything's like monochromatic, which is like my dream come true.
Not that like Lululemon isn't. I think Lululemon's quality is better.
The thing is
100%.
about the thing about Lululemon is when they like set up their store, Lululemon, just write some notes here. When you go into their store, everything is a little bit everywhere. Like you have like purple over here, but the purple short is in the front. But then the purple shirt is over here, but then the purple short is in the back, and then the brown pant is in the back, and then the brown shirt is mixed in behind the purple.
They're creating a color story.
It looks to me like a color disaster. Like I just get really confused, and I'm like a little lightheaded when I leave.
Oh well.
Like I'm just like a little dizzy. I'm like, I need to sit down. Because there's so many colors. Like, trust me, I love the rainbow. But like, I don't want to be like, I don't want to look at Lululemon. Whereas I go to Aloe and it's just like, you look at one corner, it's all tan.
What made you think of aloe?
Well, because you know what happened recently? I'm just so scarred by society. Is that I was
Are
literally
you?
scarred? Like literally, like there's just so many. I didn't want to show them. That's why I'm wearing long sleeve. So like somebody was like walking around the mall with an aloe bag, and I'm like, if that is not the last aloe bag that I ever see, like I would be shocked. And so literally within hours, I saw another gay just strutting their stuff with mixed branding. It's like Nike, Adidas. You know how some people just don't know how to dress, and so then they're just walking around. They have the aloe bag, and they're slaying in that aloe bag. And mind you, it was free. So like it, but they think that they carry it like it's $1,000. Yeah. And I want to know what's in their bag. You know how like Vogue, Harper's Bazaar,
Chapstick.
They all do that, and it's like
Just one chapstick.
And I think a change of clothes for going out the next night or that night.
Just yeah.
Because they're going to their friends, but they're going to go shopping for a shirt that they need for that night.
Chapstick and a pair of like fresh panties.
So gays, if you would like to write us, we would love to hear back from you. What is in your aloe bag? If you'd like to show us, please send us a picture. Please send us your bag. We would love that. We could use it and we'll send it back, just like as a fan thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just love that. Like, what's in the bag?
Yeah.
I love your little topic list.
Well, me, Virgo. September.
We
just need Virgos in your life.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have everything we've done here. Why do I have living with no regrets? That's so fucking stupid.
Living with no regrets.
Like literally by
that
itself.
sounds like a rock song.
No, like I don't even know what I was thinking.
I was thinking like living on a prayer.
I probably was honestly because I have ADD and you do too. It's like I was probably just like daydreaming and I put like
living with no regrets. Live like every day is your last.
Okay, I kind of like love what I wrote here, so I'm just gonna kind of go ahead and just say it out loud.
Let's do it.
How can we remain focused on our goals while not adding too much pressure to the outcome? And how can we add accountability? So like when we make goals for the end of the year, right?
Like a resolution?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I literally just thought of another thought while you were talking. I'm crazy. So when you have a resolution, we put so much emphasis on doing it and making sure that we perform it every single day. But like life's too short. So anyway, that's the name of the tune.
And that's
the end of the show. Thanks so much for joining.
That's it, everybody.
What
Thank
if we
you.
were so ill-explained?
And you get on to my shit about being so fucking profound. That was the most profound fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
No,
Can you actually repeat what you said?
Living with no regrets
actually,
is
don't
my
repeat
favorite.
what you said.
Living with no regrets.
Yeah,
is definitely
living with
that.
no regrets.
No, so Panee, before we were doing production, like while we were doing like back stuff, and Jamie and I were like figuring out the cameras, Panee was just saying like these really basic one-liners that were not that profound. Like, I love candles. And I'm like, and you're like, but really though, candles are so important. I'm like, why are we talking about
I wasn't
that?
talking about candles.
No, I know you weren't, but like that's what it sounded like when I was like setting up. You're like, we need more boxes on this earth. Like
Jamie had a sticker. It said, "Don't be a dick." I was like, "Yeah, I love that. Don't be a dick. Also, don't be an asshole."
No, and then he was like, "Yeah, you're kind of like right. You should not be a dick." And I'm like, people have said that so many times. It's so baseline. But you were like mind blown. You could not believe it said "don't be a dick." Like,
it's the little things. It's the little things.
So I guess guys, just don't be a dick. And honestly, if
let's go back to living with no regrets.
Why was that written though?
Living with no regrets.
What else was on my? Okay, do I read poor, gays in aloe bags? Who pays your bills?
I love the living with no regrets.
Why did I do that though?
Do you have any regrets?
No, I mean, yeah, of course I do. That'd be.
I think we do. I think everyone has regrets. I think it's impossible to say live with no regrets. I think it's a nice thing to think about.
I think it's a gesture.
But like, you've got regrets for sure.
I definitely have regrets. When I think about them, I try not to dwell on them. Let's just say that I have regrets. I try not to like think of it too much or feed into the thought, because it's like then you like regret more.
I regret a lot of my choices.
That's dark.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, like, oh shit.
Like I regret everything I do.
Yeah.
I think about it.
I regret waking up. That's dark.
Why am I?
That's dark.
Why am I alive? But no, seriously though, I think that we all regret, obviously, but like to live and to dwell on those regrets is just another thing. That's a whole different story.
I think for me, I have a lot of regrets around like financial choices. Like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Oh fuck! Why did I do
Honestly,
that?
you can't take it to the grave, babes. And
Money?
That's when you go like this.
Money?
Mm-hmm. You just can't take it to the grave. So
no, for sure.
Just have fun.
No. I believe that for sure.
I know that's terrible because people are going to save for their 401k, and I want to have a family, so obviously there's a balance. Like, don't just go out and just like throw your money out through like a money machine. But like seriously, I think just having some fun here and there is not a problem.
Do I have a 401k? I don't know.
Do I?
I don't know.
I think I have one.
Do I have a savings account? I don't know.
do I have a checking? I don't know. I have a credit card. One time, this girl that I know, iconic, she was like, I love credit cards. It's like free money.
That's not how it works. Wait, who is this girl?
Oh my God, an old friend that I don't talk to, thank God. She probably would have gotten us in some bad trouble back in the 20s, but like in the early 20s, she's like, but she said it with so much conviction. She was like, I love credit cards. It's like free money. And I'm like, oh, no. Stop
Sweetheart,
the train.
that's not how it works.
Stop the train. Stop the thought train, because it's just not going to work. Guys, pay your bills. Please pay your bills. Try to do it on time. Sometimes we're a little late.
Your amazing boyfriend got us a little commemorative little something.
I love that he jumps right into this. So this was a lovely bouquet given to me from Michael. He wrote me a note and said, congratulations on your third time trying this video, which I thought was really sweet because, guys, literally this is our third time.
Poor Karamo.
I know. Shout out to Karamo.
Shout out to Karamo.
From Queer Eye. And he has his own show called Karamo. Which we love him. Thank you so much for trying to do this with us. He recorded it with us twice already, and it was so lovely. We were so grateful, but I just didn't have it down. Like, we didn't have the Jamie touch.
We didn't have Jamie.
We didn't have Jamie, and Jamie has been like a dream come true now. So she helped us light this bitch up. Like, he was not lit. Like,
Who was your friend that was there the second time? It sat there and like tried to help us.
Delmon.
Oh,
I love him.
Oh, love Delmon. Hi, Delmon.
But he didn't also like know the background
yeah.
stuff, so like we can't call
I'm
him
an
out,
asshole.
'cause-
Sorry.
I know. God, come out for Delmon. We love you. Thank you so much for helping us.
But Karamo, you're amazing.
Yeah, Karamo, thank you so much. So we would love to have you on. And if you have guys have any ideas of like who you'd like to have on, please let us know. Forward this to somebody. The more marketing that you guys do, the better. I'm assuming that's kind of how people found out about us. I don't really know how, but
Honestly, every day it's just a wonder that more people find out about this podcast.
I was just singing a song that starts with that, like every day is so wonderful. Anyway,
the Christina Aguilera song.
I was singing it like
Beautiful.
acapella. Yeah, acapella. Man, my hand is so gay. I cannot stop looking.
I've been noticing that today.
It just keeps going like this. I'm like, you would think I know sign language. Okay, so Michael got us something really, really sweet. Michael's my boyfriend, everybody. Michael got us something really sweet to celebrate us doing our first video podcast. So we're going to do it really fast right now. To our first video podcast. Woo!
Ah!
Why is that so exciting?
Yay! Wait, tilt it.
Okay.
Oh
Wait,
my
why? Why? Oh, don't you know about wine now?
Yeah, so I just passed my level 1 sommelier. So
Congrats.
I'm a level 1 som, and starting in next Saturday, I'll go for my level 2.
That's cool. I love levels.
So I know a thing or two
Cheers.
about wine.
Love you.
Clinky, drinky. Oh, love you too.
Well, that's the show, everybody.
Oh, I said I was pulling back from drinking a while.
Oh, he said he was like gonna drink, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, of course I'll drink this."
I feel like I'm drunk again.
Well, thank you so much for coming on to our first video podcast. We're so excited. Thank you to Jamie for helping us.
Thank you, Jamie.
Finney, for coming along this journey with me and like feeding into these ideas. We've had so many moments we wanted to do this, but just we hadn't gotten it right yet, and we wanted to get it perfect. So thank you so much for coming on. Penny, how do people reach out to you when they want to reach out to you?
On Instagram at pnolampoon. And what about you, Jamie? I almost called you Jamie.
And what about you?
And what about you, JB?
JC. It's at JC Queen, JAYCEEQUEEN. And if you want to find us, it's at The Wholesome Podcast. And if you want to email us, it's thewholesomepodcast@gmail.com.
Yes.
Well, until next time, thank you for watching us.
Bye.